for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people. My research was terminated as a result of the president's executive orders.
A group of government workers who were just let go for being deemed non-essential by DOJ and the Trump administration are now protesting because they got let go. But they are accidentally, during their protests, making the perfect case for why we needed DOJ. So we're going to jump right into this, but before we do, my name is Clayton Kearns from TrendyPolitics.com. If you have not subscribed already, please make sure to do so. And if you have, then thank you very much, and just leave a like on this video. It really helps us out in the algorithm. So let's get right into it. Colin Rugg here posted, just in, a woman has a meltdown because Trump shut down her job where she studied how to safely collect sexual orientation and gender identity practices. Whatever that means. She says, I was told to stop work immediately and that no more research expenditures would be allowed. She goes on to say, we need better data to create better clinical guidelines for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people. Just let this sink in for a second. Your hard-earned taxpayer dollars was going to this lady to sit in a room somewhere and to create better guidelines for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people. She goes on in this 4-minute, we're not going to watch all 4 minutes of this video, but she goes on to try to explain what she does, and I don't think anyone really can still understand what this woman was being paid to do. And again, this is why DOJ was created. Little by little, the Democrats are saying, well, all of these little expenditures, they're not adding up to much. They add up to trillions of dollars. I know these Democrats don't know how to handle money, but Elon Musk and Trump do, and that's why these programs were cut. So let's watch a couple seconds of this. Not going to watch the whole 4 minutes because, quite frankly, I don't know. She's a little too insufferable to watch this whole thing, but let's watch a few minutes of her screaming and yelling about Trump.
National Cancer Institute funded study was terminated. I never received a written letter, but I was told to stop work immediately and that no more research expenditures would be allowed. My study to explore how to safely collect sexual orientation and gender identity in cancer care practices was in response to the American Society of Clinical Oncology, the American Medical Association, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, and many other national professional standard-setting bodies that recognize that we need better data to create better clinical guidelines for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people. My research was terminated as a result of the president's executive orders, presumably the quote-unquote defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth. Despite
These people have no idea what they're booing, by the way. It's pretty funny.
this rhetoric, nothing in this order defends women. What this administration does best is to call something the opposite of what it is and repeat it over and over again until we're confused about what words even mean or what is true. This is the oldest totalitarian tactic in existence.
Okay, so she says basically that the Trump administration is the one gaslighting the American people and making people confused as to what certain words mean anymore. This is coming from the party who can't even define what a woman is. You go ask your common Democrat, your common liberal, they can't tell you. But she is accusing the Trump administration of gaslighting and using totalitarian tactics. These people are completely out of touch, and I cannot believe that our taxpayer dollars were going to people like this. But this is not the only meltdown that happened, okay? Another woman, Colin Rugg, just simply says, queer has meltdown. Now, he said that because she self-classified herself as queer. So he says, queer has meltdown over the Trump administration ending DEI. Says Trump should fear her power. Colin says, I'm sure Trump is terrified. I want to be building a community with queer scientists that I have been proud to lead, but I can't. This is because on January 21st, the current administration instituted a ban on DEIA positions and programs in the federal government. Overnight, my group's website was taken down and colleagues I'd worked besides for years were out of a job. So, queer scientists. She wants to lead a revolution of queer scientists that have just been fired. So let's watch a couple minutes of this video.
And frankly, I don't want to be here. on my research. But I can't. I want to be building community with queer scientists that I have been proud to lead, but I can't.
So we were paying an army of queer scientists to do God knows what in a lab and waste more taxpayer dollars. Okay.
This is because on January 21st, the current administration instituted a ban on DEIA positions and programs in the federal government. Overnight, my group's website was taken down and colleagues I'd worked beside for years were out of a job. 2 years of our blood, sweat, and tears, building networks, fostering community, and many more of history before us, reduced to broken links and uncertainty. In the wake of such a clear attack on my queer colleagues, how can any of us go about our day-to-day work? Through community, we have found a way. Despite bans on presenting our research, halts on funding, and direct attacks on our identities, we have passed candidacy exams, been accepted to graduate school, all while raising our voices to protect our fellow scientists. While some may think the administration's actions are a bold display of strength, I think they are a clear admission of fear. This administration knows the power we have when we stand together, and that's why they're trying to undermine us. You can eliminate DEIA. You can stall our research, but we are not going anywhere. We will work together to protect every single one of us. Fellow organizers, do not give them the satisfaction of succumbing to the overwhelm. Keep raising your voices. Keep excelling at what you do and remind them why they should fear our power.
Okay. So she says nothing is going to stop us from doing our research. Hey, you can do all the research you want, just not at the dime, on the taxpayer's dime. Like, hey, you know, this is America. It's a free country. You can research whatever you want, but we're not going to be paying for it anymore. And I can't believe she just said that. She literally said, fear our power. And the reason why Trump shut down this whole department is because of fear. Fear of what? Do you see the people at this protest? Do you think Trump is scared in the slightest of anything that they're going to do for them, to do against them? I can't believe what I'm watching here. But apparently Trump has reason to fear this girl. I have no idea, but I'm sure he's going to lose some sleep tonight. So many of these people worked for HHS, okay? And not only were we wasting taxpayer dollars by paying these people, but HHS was also spending $22 billion on illegal aliens. And Insurrection Barbie here says, do you see why they are terrified allowing Doge to audit the government? Let's watch a second of this.
Report today from a watchdog group shows that the Department of Health and Human Services has spent $22 billion on migrants over the last few years. We're talking things like cars, homes, even help with credit scores. And guess where this money's coming from? The taxpayers' pockets. Well, Open the Books is the name of this government watchdog group. They dug into this. Their investigation revealed the money was distributed through the Office of Refugee Resettlement, a division within HHS. The office has come under fire in the past. Last year, as everyone may remember, an Inspector General report revealed they could not track the exact whereabouts of 32,000 unaccompanied migrant children. And still, this latest report notes the most funding went to programs for unaccompanied migrant children. Other programs include matching savings for cars and homes, small business loans, and help with credit scores. In 2021, according to this watchdog report, they gave out more than $2 billion in grants. Check 2023 out. That soared to more than $10 billion. This was the same time we saw a record number of migrant encounters at the southern border, and in 2024, another $4 billion. Eligible groups for these migrants include from these grants, that is, include migrants from Cuba and Haiti, humanitarian parolees from Afghanistan and Ukraine.
So we could keep going, but I think you get the point. Did you hear what she said there? Small business loans to illegal aliens. Guys, it continuously makes me sick that our taxpayer dollars were just being literally burnt, literally being thrown away on interests that have nothing to do with the American people. It really makes me sick. But it does make me excited to know that this is the future of our government here. Secretary Kennedy, as you guys know, was confirmed the other day, and he posted this yesterday. I was touched and inspired by the warm welcome from every corner of HHS, the professionalism, and the unrestrained groundswell of enthusiasm for Make America Healthy Again. I think we have a really an amazing fresh start, a new beginning here with Secretary Kennedy, and I'm really, really excited. He also recently said he also agreed to rescind Biden administration's HHS rule requiring doctors receiving federal funding to conduct gender transition procedures, including hormones, puberty blockers, and surgeries. And he says here, we don't let children drink, we don't let them drive an automobile because they have bad judgment. They are flooded with hormones. Their brains are still in formation. Their sexuality is still in formation. To allow